Good morning, students. Welcome back to the science class. How are you? I hope you all well. Last class, we finished our third chapter, atoms and molecules. What is an atom? Atom is the smallest constituent unit of matter. What is molecules? Two or more atoms are combined to form a molecule. Today, we are going to start our fourth lesson, structure of the atom. In chapter 3, we have learned that atoms and molecules are the fundamental building blocks of matter. The existence of different kinds of matter is due to different atoms constituting them. A major challenge before the scientists at the end of the 19th century was to reveal the structure of the atom as well as to explain its important properties. The elucidation of the structure of an atom is based on the series of experiments. Matter is made up of many particles. The particles are made up of atoms. Number of atoms. We can divide the matter into small particles. Again, we can divide the particles into atoms. But atoms are indivisible. See this one. This is the structure of an atom. The atoms are rotating in an orbit. This shape is orbit. Then charged particles in matter. Last class I told you the atoms are made up of three subatomic particles. They are electrons, protons and neutrons. J.J. Thomson discovered electrons. The electrons are negatively charged. It is represented as E minus. Protons. E. Goldstein in 1886 discovered protons. The protons are positively charged. It is represented as P plus, and neutrons have no charge, neutral charge. It is represented as N. The mass of an electron is 1 by 2000 the mass of a hydrogen atom. The mass of one electron is equal to 1 by 2000 the mass of hydrogen atom. The mass of a proton is equal to the mass of a hydrogen atom and is taken as 1 unit. The mass of a neutron is equal to the mass of hydrogen atom and is taken as 1 unit, which means the mass of proton which is equal to mass of neutron. Both are equal to the mass of hydrogen atom. Did you understand? But the mass of electron is equal to 1 by 2000 the mass of a hydrogen atom, but mass of one proton is equal to the mass of a hydrogen atom, and also the mass of a neutron is also equal to the mass of a hydrogen atom. Then discovery of subatomic particles. I told you in 1900 J.J. Thomson discovered the presence of the negatively charged particles called electrons in the atom. In 1886, E. Goldstein discovered new radiations in gas discharge and called them canal rays. What are called canal rays? Radiations in gas discharged particles are called, that is known as canal rays. These rays were positively charged. This later led to the discovery of the positively charged particles called protons in an atom. In 1933, Chadwick discovered the presence of particles having no charge in the atom called neutrons. Who discovered the electron? J.J. Thomson. They are negatively charged. Goldstein discovered positively charged protons. Chadwick discovered neutral charged neutrons. Structure of an atom. First one is Thomson's model of an atom. According to Thomson, an atom is similar to a Christmas pudding. Do you know the Christmas pudding? Pudding had positive charge and the electrons having negative charge were like plums on the pudding. What is pudding? The cake items, creamy cake. On the creamy cake, people will keep some plums. So he mentioned, he saying the atom is similar to the Christmas pudding. The pudding had positive charge and electrons having negative charge were like plums on the pudding. He proposed that an atom consists of a positively charged sphere and the electrons are embedded in it. See this picture, one positive putting the circle inside the negative electron plums. For understand only I am giving this one. An atom consists of a positively charged sphere. The sphere is positively charged proton and the electrons are embedded in it. The negative and positive charges are equal in magnitude. So the atom as a whole is electrically neutral. In a textbook, they given one question: if an atom contains one electron and one proton, will it carry any charge or not? Because if an atom carry one electron, one proton, both will neutralize their charges. They can't carry any other charge. Both will neutralize their charge. So if an atom contains one proton, one electron, what is the charge of that an atom? Neutral charge. Response to external stimuli. Living organisms respond to their surroundings or environment. Respond to environment stimuli could be physical, chemical, or biological. Plant respond to external factors: light, water, temperature. Example, the root of the plant, it will grow towards earth. Why it grow towards earth? Because it need water. It responds to water. Then the stem and leaves, they grow towards sunlight because it responds to the stimuli of the sunlight. The organism can sense. First one example I told you about the chicken fry. Yes, organism can sense and responds to environmental cues. Photo period affect reproduction in seasonal breeders, both plant and animals. You know the breeders. Some animals they breed. Breeding means producing eggs. They will breed in particular season only. For example, frog it will breed rainy season. Then lizard it will breed summer season. So most of the animals and plants are seasonal breeders. You know, jackfruit season. People will say jackfruit season. This is a mango season because this like these plants they will breed in particular seasons. The organisms handle chemicals entering their bodies and aware of their surroundings. Human being, the only organism which has self-consciousness. Which organism has self-consciousness? The human being only have self-consciousness. Bounce back means rebound. Rebound means bounce back through the air after hitting something hard. Here, Rutherford saw a very few alpha particles appear to rebound, bounce back through the air after hitting something hard. Then Rutherford concluded from the alpha particle scattering experiment, most of the space inside the atom is empty because most of the alpha particle passed through the gold foil without getting deflected. First point, the most of the first moving alpha particle passed straight through the gold foil. What is the reason for that? What reason is given by Rutherford? He is saying most of the space inside the atom is empty. So only the alpha particles passed through the gold foil without getting deflected. Then he found that very few particles were deflected from their path, indicating that positive charge of the atom occupies very little space. Very little space. A very small fraction of alpha particles were deflected by 180 degree, indicating that all the positive charge and mass of the gold atom were concentrated in a very small volume within the atom. Very small fraction of alpha particles were deflected by 180 degree, which indicate that all the positive charge, what is positive charge, protons, and mass of the gold atom were concentrated in a very small volume within the atom. From the data, he also calculated that the radius of the nucleus is about 10 raised to 5 times less than the radius of the atom. The nucleus size, here he found the nucleus size. The nucleus size is about 10 to the power 5 times less than that of the radius of an atom. On the basis of his experiment, Rutherford put forward the nuclear model of an atom, which had the following features. There is positively charged center in an atom called nucleus. An atom contains positively charged center. The center is called nucleus. Nearly all the mass of an then he found that electrons revolve. What is mean by revolving? Rotating around the nucleus in different orbit. In the lesson starting time, I show one picture on orbit, the oval shaped orbit. The electrons are rotating. That oval shaped structure, that the path of electron is known as orbit. Electron rotating path is called orbit. The size of the nucleus is very small compared to the size of the atom. Then once again listen the conclusion from Rutherford's alpha scatter experiment. Most of the space inside an atom is empty because the alpha particles passed straight through the gold foil. The second conclusion, atom had a small nucleus having positive charge because some of the alpha particles having positive charge were slightly deflected by small angles. Size of the nucleus is very small compared to the size of the atom because very few alpha particles appear to rebound, and most of the positive charge and mass of an atom is the nucleus. Then Rutherford's model of an atom has a positively charged nucleus as its center. Most of the mass of the atom is in the nucleus. Why most of the mass of the atom is in the nucleus? Because in the nucleus contain positively charged protons and neutral charged neutrons. So most of the mass of the atom is in the nucleus. What is the meaning for mass? Quantity. The electrons revolved around the nucleus in different orbit. What is the meaning for orbit? Electron rotating path is called orbit. The size of the nucleus is very small compared to the size of the atom. Okay, thank you, students.